All right, everybody. This is X.2K, Shutter Sean on Facebook, and I've decided to kind of do a set of introductory videos per se of kind of getting everybody up to speed of what certain things are in terms of the tokusatsu genre. Because I did the JoJo review, and since it's a variety channel, one of my friends had pointed out to me maybe I kind of put the cart before the horse, and that really basically explained to some that are transitioning from, say, my music videos or my gameplay videos are transitioning over um, to that JoJo review. That maybe there's certain concepts or ideas or little basic things that possibly need to be explained. So basically, yeah, this is I'm going to take the time to explain this next thing, and that's Super Sentai, and pretty much let's get started. Okay, Super Sentai was initially created in the 70s, and it's a superhero action live action series generally aimed towards children, uh, what the Japanese equivalent of child programming is. Uh, that basically starts with the premise of 5 to 3 individuals that that have these powers, or either receive them or they already have them, whatever have you, that assemble together to beat a common threat that is threatening the Earth. This threat tends to vary from aliens to demons to interdimensional aliens to robots to anything you could think of under the sun. And they go week to week, and in most cases, the main leader sends down a monster of the week. They fight said monster of the week while whatever plot or plan the enemy's trying to do to hurt people in some way. In some instances, the villains like to gather energy from people for some general purpose, be it fear or sadness or things of that nature, or they just like to hurt people. And of course, the heroes assemble again to stop them. After they beat the monster, also they wear multicolored costumes, and the design is basically always spandex, always your typical kind of spandex. It's kind of left to the audience to accept the fact that it's not really body armor, that's spandex, but it's been generally accepted over time. Of course, they beat said monster. It grows. They use their mecha that they have to defeat it, and that normally ends the episode. In certain cases, they don't fight giant monsters. They fight other mechs. Series that have done this, for example, Deca Ranger. Deca Ranger, the ground monster wouldn't grow. He would just jump into a machine, and they would fight him inside the machine. And this is a Bioman. There wasn't even any monsters of the week. They'd just be the sub generals from following the orders of their leader, and then there would be a different mecha that one of those generals would hop into, and that's how they would finish the episode. Super Sentai also tends to change from season to season. They never reuse the same cast. Every single season is basically a new team, a new premise, or a twist on an existing premise, or something of that nature. Uh, Super Sentai and certain other things in tokusatsu genre are made by Toei. It's not made by Spawn. It's not an American company. It's a Japanese company. Uh, yeah, pretty much. So it's generally in one continuity in one universe, but each show feels like its own jumping point, and they do acknowledge the other shows and crossovers mainly, and other bigger crossover events with other stuff under the Toei banner. Okay. In terms of content, Super Sentai, although technically is aimed towards kids, it tackles certain premises of death or pain and suffering and certain little things, aspects in a certain manner that you wouldn't normally get in American kids, quote unquote, programming. There are a little bit more flexibility in that regard. Like I said, certain characters on the team have died in certain iterations. The older '80s and earlier '90s and '70s, so on and so forth, was a little bit more flexible in that content. Over time, they've kind of developed more of a hybrid show that's a bit of everything. You got your humor, a little bit of silliness, but at the same time, you have those undertones still there. You still have those character deaths that still appear, some tragic backstories, uh, and other slightly more mature content that you would normally expect from something that, in a picture, looks the way it looks, like this. I mean, once in a blue moon, you might get a little sexual innuendo. Oh, hello, Miss Wagon. Damn, she's hot. I don't care what any normies say. I wouldn't mind getting me off some of that. No, I wouldn't mind that at all. Yes, sir, Bobby Joe. yes. But anyway, moving on. Now the time has come, it seems, to basically address a general misconception, mostly on the Western side of things. I think entirely on the Western side of things, about Super Sentai. And I'm going to more specifically, I'm going to explain what Super Sentai is not. Super Sentai is not Japanese Power Rangers. For that statement to even be true, that would have to insinuate that Power Rangers was created before Super Sentai. It was not. Power Rangers was adapted from Super Sentai back in the 90s. Super Sentai itself was created in the 70s. So that's a multi-decade gap. So in reality, the sentence should go as follows. Power Rangers is American Super Sentai. It takes basically the stock footage from the original show, and they cast their own actors as opposed to dubbing people over. They use the stock footage from the original series. They film around it. They redub the voices in the Japanese footage. Yada, yada, yada. They'll add some of their own unique footage, which become a little bit more elaborate as time went on and they went on to more seasons. But basically, they take the existing premise, they adapt it, and they alter things. A lot of things. And represent it to an American audience. That's basically what goes on. I'm not going to really try to make this into which is better. I already have my opinion. It's probably pathologically obvious which side on the fence I'm on. But this is basically to clear up that misconception that some people may have, that I've seen and heard before. So I'm not just imagining that. So yeah, pretty much. Okay, in closing, that was the basics of what Super Sentai is, what it is not, what you can generally expect in general from those series, and basically maybe also as an informational video for those that ease in into, they do, if people on this channel, this is a variety channel, if they can ease in. Once I start talking, if I do any more reviews and I start talking about Sentai series or other series like Kamen Rider and stuff like that, or also Tokusatsu, some of which are in Toei Banner, some of which are not, which I'm probably going to do at least 2 more, most likely, before I kick it underway with possibly the Jetman review retrospective. One for Kamen Rider, one for Metal Heroes, because most of the stuff I watch tend to be in that genre. If I start covering stuff from Garo, I'll cover Garo. Garo's its own entity as well. But yeah, so hopefully this was helpful to you, and you want to pass this along. If you feel it was helpful, pass it along. And alright, that's it. This is XL2K and Shai Sean signing off.